Not only we are producing the food, okay, every country is producing the food for their domestic purpose, and the excess food, whatever we are producing, that has to be exported for the other countries. Okay, and we are leading in exporting the meat and meat product and other animal origin food to the other countries like Gulf countries, then European countries for getting the more foreign exchange. So in these cases, what are the regulations are there? What are the criteria are there? Who will export the meat, poultry meat, all the large animal meat and egg and the dairy products to the foreign countries? Okay, so including the large animal meat, also buffalo meat. So today we have these experts from the government of India. First speaker is going to speak on challenges and opportunities in export of the chicken and the eggs in the European countries. So I have very pleasure to introduce Dr. Vijay Vavre Sahib. Who will be an expertise in this area, and he is working in this area. Is about more than 78 years in the Export Inspection Council. Um, uh, Previously, he graduated and post-graduated from the Urban Veterinary College and the Nagpur Veterinary College. Okay, and after that, he joined the first job is the assistant professor in the Tirupati Veterinary College for about 4 to 5 years in the Department of Pharmacology and Toxicology. So after that, he again joined the state government as a project officer for handled about 1,000 crores of the rupees for distributing to the stakeholders and the end users for the applications. And then he joined the Export Inspection Council and working for the 78 years. He is mainly involved in inspection of the commodities, which are mainly mandate of the export inspection agencies like poultry, meat, and eggs and fish. And what are the industries which are mainly involved in this western region, like in Maharashtra, Gujarat, okay, and is inspecting the all the plants for their wholesomeness, how they are producing the meat, which are compatible to the other countries or not, and is certifying the processing plants in India. So at his credit, there are many awards, but to name some awards, he has mainly involved in European Union Asian food safety training programs in the Sri Lanka, which is attended by him as a legal perspectives. What are the legal perspectives are there to export the meat from India to the Sri Lanka? He has also attended 26th National Annual Conference and the National Symposium on the Advanced Trains in the Small Animal Surgery, International Symposium on the Advanced Trains in on Diagnostic Techniques in Small Animal Surgery, and also he has attended the US FDA regulations like Food Safety FSAMA Act overuse, okay, in Washington. ISO IEC 20,000 training on measurement of uncertainty testing of the food and nutraceutical. He is one of the also the enable auditor also. Okay, he has uh, also assessed various laboratories which are mainly involved in this food processing plant and also the private laboratories who are testing the animal origin foods. At his credit, the publications, there are 10 and international publication, also one international publication has been done. And external funded projects also during his assistant professor and at Tirupati, he has handled external funded projects also of the NDDP CGPA project, ICR associated with the Adarsh Go Seva Anusandhan Prakalp, okay, of about 75 worth rupees 75 lakh rupees, and he was also as an PI in to study the effect of the animal birth control and the anti-rabies vaccination program on population of the state of and its minas in Mira Bhainder Municipal Corporation area. Okay, that project was about 5 crores rupees, and for the 5 years he has handled that project. He has also delivered the lectures for the on television and the radio programs also for the awareness of the consumers and also the exporters from our country. And he has organized the training programs on the advanced training on the surgical interventions hysterectomy in canines. Okay, so Dr. Vaure Sahib is actively been involved in certification of the various plant, dairy plant, then poultry plant, poultry meat producing plant, and also fishery plants for the export, and definitely is promoting such plants for the export purpose and get more foreign exchange. So with this short introduction, I invite Dr. Vijay Vavre Sahib to present his topic on challenges and opportunities in export of chicken and egg in European countries. So Dr. Vijay Vavre sir, please.
Okay.
I request all the participants, please put on your camera.
Hello. Are you audible?
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, audible and visible. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Slide is also visible.
Okay. First of all, I heartily welcome to all the participants and dignitaries, and especially I am thankful to the Dr. Jandesar and Vaidya who has called me for the to give the presentation on the opportunities and challenges in the export of the poultry meat and eggs in the European countries. Okay. So first of all, we understood the requirement of the European countries, what are the requirement and what basic structure we have in. So first upon export inspection agency. Hello.
yes, sir. Yes, you are audible. Please continue.
Yeah, first we understand the Indian trade statistic. Because of India's trade statistics are it is the source from the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, and that is the international trade which are given from the 2009 to 2015. That is about the total. Firstly, we see the trade 2009 to 2010. It is near about 150 billions, and subsequently it has raised to up to the that is 500 nearby 489 billions in the year of the 2011 to 2012. Subsequently has been uh, declined because of the certain issues which has been faced by the industries. So in our country, there are the certain food control system in India. There are the multiple component authority system. See, that is export is taken care by the EIC, that is under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, whereas import is taking care of the FSSI, and domestic is also taking care of the FSSI. As a multiple component authority systems, it is having the total 5 components, means National Food Control System in India monitored by the 5 regulatory authorities, and some among that some are the promotional authorities. What are these regulatory authorities? That is the as far as concerned to the food safety prospective, FSSI and EIC. As far as concerned to the animal origin products, that is the Department of the Plant Quarantine and Plant Protections under the Ministry of Agriculture. Whereas as far as concerned to the animal origin products, the all the regulatory requirement pertaining to animal health attestation taken care by the Ministry of Animal Husbandry and Department of Animal Husbandry, Government of India. So first upon I would like to introduce that if there are the different commodities which has been categorized as the notified commodities and non-notified commodities. And for that, Government of India has been established EIC under the Parliament Act 1963, Rule number 7. So, what are the notified commodities which are mentioned in the left side of the slides? That is marine products, egg product, poultry meat product, milk product, meat and processing meat products, honeys, processed fruit products, gelatin, animal casein, peanut products, feed additives, and premixtures, basmati rice. These are the notified commodities, and for that, Government of India, there have been placed some acts and monitoring rule, quality control and inspection monitoring rule. As far as concerned to the poultry product and egg product, it is Quality Control and Inspection Act, Government of India is 2005. So through this act, it has been monitored all the regulatory requirement of the importing country, what kind of the system to be placed for the export unit. That is, what are the requirements to get the approval of the export units. There are the certain mandatory requirement to get the approval of the FSMS system. Without approval of the FSMS system, establishment are not in position to export to the foreign countries. First upon, we see what are the opportunities in meat and poultry sectors in India and overview of the sectors. See, any domestic bird, that is the layer or boiler, generally kept by the human being for egg productions and for their meat products as well as the feathers. What are the scope and strength? These strength are means these are the opportunities for the Indian industries, that Indian poultry industry is booming and emerging as a world second largest market and third largest egg producer and fifth largest meat producer in India. Poultry meat product industry is fast growing compared to the others, and it is the cheap source of animal product which is affordable by the masses. 75% of the non-vegetarian foods are egg and meat consumption in India, and create the employment in the rural India. Cost of production is less as compared to other countries in the world. These are the opportunities aligned with the means it is in the Indian markets. And that is Government of India has taken some proactively step towards the improvement of the food export industry. That is first of all, it is the fastest growing economy in the world, largest producer of the several agriculture commodities, second largest consumer market, significant investment in the world class flow, logistic and supply chains, investor friendly, intensive and highly skilled manpower. These are the demographic dividends having the India to be leading in the particular industries. Why India for meat and processing meat? As I said that India has the world largest population of the livestock. First, and India produce around 5.3 million metric ton of the meat and 75 billion annual eggs annually. India is the largest producer of the buffalo meat and second largest producer of the goat meat. Whereas the percentage of the poultry meat and poultry meat products is shared near about the 6%, and whereas other meat product it is stand about the 21%. Poultry is the poultry meat industry is highly vertically integrated industry in India and matches the efficiency level of many external countries. This is the plus point of the India, that is they having the vertical system in place which is par with the Western country. So there are the maximum chances for the Indian producer to export their poultry meat products if they are if they are produces which is aligned with the regulatory requirement of the importing country. Government of India has taken step of the modernizations of the municipal abattoirs to provide the safe and hygiene meat to the consumer. The Government of India has taken the many steps. They are through the giving the different subsidies, through provide the different technical means funding through the different scheme to industry, subsidies for the cold chain. So these are the major initiative taken by the Government of India towards the development of the poultry industry. So what are the means which are the major stakeholder in the productions of the poultry meats and eggs in the India? That is the major state are Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, and are the top producing in the country. Whereas poultry meats products, it has been produced in Uttar Pradesh. They are produced near about the 23% of the total meat, followed by the West Bengal. That is the 12% to the meat productions. Andhra Pradesh is the third largest meat producer in country, which produce 7% of the total productions. So we just see what are the opportunities in poultry and meat sector at the glance pertaining to export scenario. India exported meat and poultry meat product worth around 5 USD billion in 2014-15, of which buffalo meat alone accounted for the USD 4.8 billion. Other export items including egg powder, sheep goat meat, etc. Major export destinations are the Vietnam, Malaysia, Egypt, Thailand, and Saudi Arabia. So, what are the opportunities in poultry, meat, and meat sectors? There are some integrated farming systems are there. We having the larger technologies is imported from the different countries. That is the new technologies, new technologies in meat and poultry processing, modern abattoirs, and that modern abattoirs in the sense that there is the minimize the intervention of the human beings. Because of the human beings, there might be the chances of the get some zoonotic disease transfer from the human to animal products. So modernization is good as compared to human intervention. What is the cold chain? Cold chain, it is the very that is a needful factor in the meat processing industry to increase the shelf life of the products and wholesomeness of the products. That is the different veterinary technologies that and services, food testing parts, and poultry industry players. New product, value added product like frozen chill product, ready to cook, ready to eat, Indian ethnic products, snacks, egg powder plant, new feed formulation and manufacturing of the manufacturing and different hatcheries. Hatcheries, it is for the to provide the quality boilers layers to the industry. What are the means constituents? It has been categorized into two for the egg produce. Layer farming eggs, that there are the certain varieties are there which can be produced near about 300 eggs in one laying cycle, that is the Venkob, Vanaraj, Giriraj, and Khadaknath. Whereas as far as for the poultry meat production, these are the recognized birds who attend a weight there near about 1.75 kg to 2 kg within 40 days. That is Venkob, Giriraj, Vanraj, and Kadaknath. These can be mostly survive in our Indian continent zones. So per capita consumption, first when we are going to export any products, we see the calculations, because whatever the recommendations for that is WHO to consume the animal proteins, and as per the given that is per capita consumption is need to be fulfill the requirement of the protein to the human being. So in our country, that is egg consumption only 57, whereas China is 348 and US is 250. As far as concerned to the meat, India is only consume 3.8 kg, and Canada is 34.8, and USA it is the fourth. Export oriented unit required significantly investment for the large abattoir come meat processing plant with the latest technology. For automatizations, and what are their requirements means farming is required as per the importing country requirement, logistics support, processing, and point of scale storage are opportunities in India, given the changing references of the Indian consumer for the clean and safe hygiene and meat processings. So per capita productions, see what are the plus points of India uh, towards the poultry industry. It is that egg production is and boiler chicken production. So these are the some that is the advantage, chicken advantage, on the other that is the animal products, that is chicken meat or poultry meat. It is high on cost effective, health wise is much safer, easy to cook, good for all age group, adlib availability, readily available, ready for many diseases. No main concern is the no religious concern, helpful in solving problem of the malnutrition in the India. These are the sector size. See the size of the sector. C is that is given in slide, and it has been given in the briefly. So growth rate, the annual growth rate is 8 to 10% in eggs and 12 to 15% in the boil industry. So annual production and boil production has been given. It's also helpful in the generation of the employment, 1.5 million people. So in approval of the exported unit, these are the major factors, that is it has been categorized into primary productions, secondary productions, and that is the value added products. Primary means just it is dressed boilers, and secondary that is processing means it has been converted into the different body parts and certain body parts like drums and thighs, cushions, having the very good demand in the international markets. So value addition is also useful to get a more price, to get the more revenue, because it is seems to be readily available in the some stock markets, some retail shops. So nowadays, due to the modernizations and heavy workload, people are prefers for the that is value added, ready to eat, so ready to cook products. So it is also prominent sectors going to be developed. So this is the typical operation of the vertical integrated poultry farms. So for any export unit or any poultry processing unit, they have required this kind of chain, which is given that that is the primary breeders company, breeder chicks, mixed with rations, and this is the integrated. So if it is available with the any establishment or management, so they can be means easily fulfill the requirement of the exporting country, because they are having their own traceability, which is the major issue towards the export of the that is the poultry meats and meats products and eggs product to the EU country. So these are the major destinations and product exported, near about 65121 crores during the 2014 and 15 to the different destinations. Issue and challenges. So first, what are the issues and challenges having the Indian poultry industry is that is water quality and quantity, and electricity major concern in the rural areas. And second important part is the poultry welfare. As per the EU regulation, poultry welfare is the mandatory. That is the requirement of the pace to grow or to carry the birds during the processing is that is certain requirement. It has to be fulfilled as per the EU regulation. High cost of the feeding, disease outbreak, that is in our being a tropical country, there are the sudden outbreaks are there. That is the bird flu and avian influenza. That is the main concern towards the export of the product to the EU country. Cold storage problem, lack of awareness of effective animal nutrition. See, for animal nutrition, it is the major part towards the get profits. and as well as the good animal husbandry practices, it is also play an important roles to growth of the poultry and prevention of the some certain diseases which might be as a part of national disease control programs, so which should be implemented effectively, so the products get very good demand in the international market. So there are the certain global issues are there, that is as said by the Dr. Chende sir, that is some regulation. There are the certain barriers and SPS issue, that is trade barrier, then phytosanitary requirements toward the export of the sub-products. Global trade in domain on poultry products has expanded rapidly in past year, but due to technology rules, regulations certainly designed for the protection and animal health now act as an important factor. See, in certain, just like as far as concerned to the poultry, there is the some outbreaks are there, influenza. So some are the that is strains which are prominent in the Indian continent. So the European European authority has banned our products for certain periods. Now the matter has been taken by government to European Union to resolve such kind of issue. And second issue is with the traceability. Many exporter uh, many exporters in the survey, they do not have the source animal product directly from the farmer. So that is the main concern of the European Union is the traceability of the products, because their understandings and understanding that the traceability means the bird should be grown in the proper environment as per the good animal husbandry practices with the welfares, and some are issues with the infrastructure bottleneck. Uh, so multiple that is some issues are in the Indian continents is that there is the multiple agencies are there, and multiple agencies are there, and as per the European Commissions, there are the certain regulations is required towards the hygiene of the food, that is 2004-852 and 2004-852 hygiene rules laying down for the organization of official control of the unequal of the human consumption. This rules is pertaining to primary responsibility for food safety rests with the food business operator, and it is necessary to ensure the food safety throughout the food chains. Starting with the primary production, it is important for the food that cannot be stored safely at ambient temperature, particularly frozen food is maintained to be cold chain. Another is that the microbial criteria, that is some microbial organism, pathogenic organisms are very crucial in the poultry industry, that is salmonella, and then another is the uh, salmonella and others pathogenic organisms, viral organisms. Uh, for that, they have been placed one regulations that the 2160 on the control of salmonella and specifies borne diseases. Agent directives is community measures for the control of the avian filter directives as per the 9240 EC regulations. These are the mandatory requirements. How can we forwarded? The way forwarded can resolve through the three stages. How can this issue can be resolved? Implementing the domestic reform, implement product traceability, implement gap and global best practices, implement best practices in livestock, initiate proactive measures, and single nodal agency of the export. Whereas what is the major issues there? There are the multiple agency that in India, that is the control of the poultry meat industry and the product, that is state government. They are controlling the disease through the NCDCs. Uh, and then this can be resolved based on the through bilateral discussion, mutual collaboration, and knowledge sharing. If these issues has been resolved, then India having the very competitive advantage in terms of the production of the fresh and processed food products. There is need to be upgraded quality in order to sustain high exported. With growing global consciousness about food safety and health standards, the way forward it requires India to undertake the several domestic measures to improve the quality of fresh and processed product and upgrade the standards. What are the standards? That is, these are the EU regulation. That is the 2004 slash 853 and 854. These are pertaining to a requirement of the primary production, hygiene and sanitary practices, how it can be implemented as per these regulations. Then control of the salmonella. Then that is the means your FSMS system should be aligned with these regulations. Then that is residue monitoring programs. That is as per the regulation 1881. Then pesticides 396. This should be in place. And there should be the quality check. So once you compile these quality checks, then this authority will allow you and support you to get exported in the global market. Roadmap for the two obtained access to the EU market, that is transit countries are required to build up a regulatory, institutional and technical infrastructure in equivalence with the European Union. In EU, this structure are mainly governed by the General Food Law, that is 178/2002 as umbrella legislation. Described all these requirement has been described in the this said regulation in para, that is 4.2, 4.3, 4.4 and 4.1, 4.6. And these are the requirements. And the availability of the transparent tagging and tracing system is the important issue. That is the system which has been in place in food processing industry need to be transparent and traceables. That is farm to fork. This is this on this concept the EU has been work. So major issues, the tracing system means traceability and transparent. Transparent means what are the activities you have been done toward the finished products from the raw material to finished products. These are the mandatory requirement as per the 178/2002. The exporting country to need to be official authorization for the product concerned. Recently, table act to you need to have national salmonella, means whatever the pathogenic diseases in these tropical and subtropical countries, particularly in India, some disease prevalence are there. So there should be a national programs which may be carried out by the government, that is national salmonella control programs and other like others disease program Ranikhet. So these program, if you are implemented effectively, then you will be that is you will get door open or to assess the EU market. The equivalence guarantee of country must be submitted approval by these guarantees on behalf of the export unit. The government of India, a regulatory body, that is the Export Inspection Council, has given guarantee to the European Union that you are about the wholesomeness of products and following of the regulation as prescribed in the 178/2002. So these are the opportunities and challenges to assess the EU market for the Indian products like eggs and poultry meat products. Thank you. Any questions? Sorry, some are the national SPS and TBT networks. Some means national. There are the some agencies, nodal agencies. First, national nodal agencies is the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, whereas there are the whereas some sub ministries which is attached to the national nodal agencies is that FSSI, then Plant Quarantine Health, Animal Husbandry, and Bureau of the Indian Standard as a part of the sub part of the national nodal agency. They having placed the control system and discuss the issue whatever facing toward the barrier of the trades. So SPS issue and trade concern Indian perspective. These are the some SPS issue which has been discussed by the government of India to the European Unions and some Japan and US FDA, because they having the some frequently uh, concern about these ban atoms which are present in the finished product like shrimp to Japan, BSc, BSc in US, non-acceptance of the OEC categorization of BSc. For the BSc, Indian Terrestrial Code are 11.8. So there is the negligible risks. Though there is the negligible risks, but US government having the some reservation that they are not allowing the some animal origin products in the US. These are the barriers. Then some pesticides issue are there, antibiotics issues are there with the EU, and then US FDA is also rejected some because of the presence of them. Recently, there are trade barrier issues that presence of the ethylene oxide in the frozen products or agriculture based products. So these are the issues of crop up in the international market. So trade barrier export of that is some product they have been placed some restriction for the China pertaining to AQ SIQs. What we can do is that in that case we can follow the importing country requirement, that is the hygiene requirement as per the 853 and 854, then national control programs for the salmonella and avian influenza. Then the system should the requirement of the that is processing unit and FSMS unit as per the EU regulations, and rigorously implements of the quality checks program to achieve the wholesomeness of products. So if you want to be access to the EU market, then we have to be follow the regulations and guidelines of the that is as per European Union. European Union, there is a vast scope for these products, but due to some that is control system in place pertaining to traceability of products, there was some reservations of the EU countries. They are seems to be not allowed our products, and once you give assurance and guarantee to them to certain quality checks, then they might be allowed to us to export in the EU country. Thanking you. Any questions?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your exhaustive and very nice presentation of challenges and opportunities in export of chicken eggs export of chicken and eggs to different. So thank you, sir, for an exhaustive presentation. You have covered all the topics, all the areas in a very nice manner. and I hope that all the participants must have enjoyed, must have learned a lot. So I request the participants, if there is any question, so they can write in the chat box, or they can ask directly to the sir. So any question, please, from the participants? Anybody want to ask? I think, sir, you have covered all the aspects. So if
Sir, good morning.
there is any question,
It's Om Prakash
you can
Patil.
ask directly.
Hello.
Hello.
Sir, first introduce yourself,
Yes,
then
yes.
you ask the question.
Myself, Om Prakash Patil from Pune.
Hmm.
I have a question in terms of export documentation. Uh, Whenever like a company who is started a production and their aim is to export that final product. So to do export, we have to take EIA permission, or you can say EIA certification is required to do export. But for that, there is some documentation process. To do that process, is there any export agency organize a training program for that FBOs or a particular the industry?
Yeah. We have been regularly organized such programs for the FBOs. So, being a notified commodity, your plan should be approved and to export your products. So, there is certain the mandatory requirements are there. You have to submit your application as per the Export Inspection Quality Control Act 2005, and there are some mandatory documents, that is request applications along with some mandatory documents. So for that you can check the websites of the EIC.gov.in. There is a knowledge and depository are there, and in that being a notified commodity, details requirement has been given in that particular sections. Still you are persist any problem, you can contact to this office or me, so we can resolve your issue. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Any other question from the participants? Okay, thank you.
Okay. If there is no any question, okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Vavre Sahib, for accepting our invitation in very short time. I think I know that you are very busy in day-to-day work, and today you made available here for the presentation on opportunities and challenges for the export of the animal commodities to the European countries. And you have nicely covered and elaborated all the measures to be taken care of by the stakeholders for coming into the export to the European countries, and what are the standards, guidelines, everything you have discussed in very brief and understandable manner to the all the participants. So I once again thank profusely from my bottom of heart for coming and making available today for presentation this topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for providing this platform to disseminate the information for the welfare of trade and our agri-based industry. So I'm really thankful all of you who has been invited me, especially Dr. Jende sirs and other dignitaries of the same. Thank you a lot. Okay.
Okay, thank you once again. I hope you'll be available again for this training program in future. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
So then we'll move to the next speaker. I think Bagmar Sahib, are you there? Hello, Bagmar Sahib. Hello, please unmute. Huh? Hi, hi. Yeah. Sorry, लगा. नहीं? एक one.
All the participants just wait for 2-3 minutes. Our next speaker is joining. Just wait for 2-3 minutes. Vavre sir, please unshare your screen, sir. कर दिया sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello. Wagbare Sahib, are we joined? Are you there? Hello. Hmm?
about here come meat and processing unit, there may be only processing unit, or there may be a slaughter unit. So we are approving it as per our norms. Then we are developing the industry by giving the financial assistance. Then we are fixing the standards of meat and meat products. Whenever there are some issues regarding standards, we are fixing it. Then, like market promotion, I told you, internationally we are participating in various trade fairs where Apple is taking stall. In that stall, we are offering stall for our registered exporter in the concessional rate, and there may be a association or there may be an individual exporter. They can take a stall, and it will be under APEDA umbrella. So that type of promotion we are doing internationally. Apart from that, we are organizing meeting between the exporters associations. We are providing training. Then we are inviting delegations from the various countries to get the access for the market. Specifically, this market access issue, this is very critical, because as you are aware, there are two type of market access we are getting for the buffalo meat. Either they are giving for the whole country, so that whatever APEDA approved units are there, they can directly export to the that specific country. Otherwise, there are some countries like maybe you can see that Philippines and Malaysia, they are sending their delegations. Before coming the arrival of this delegation, the exporter units or maybe the meat units, they have to apply for the getting approval or accreditation. So after sending the application to that specific country, they will come to India and they will inspect as per their norms, and after fulfilling all the things, they will approve the unit. So in second stage, only approved unit can export meat to that specific country. Then we are taking up issues, because a lot of time when there is a regular business or regular trade, there are some issues are coming. Meat maybe a SPS or TBT, so that we are taking directly with that country. There may be some outbreak of diseases. In such situation, we are connected with OIE also. So there are also some local issues of the exporter, right? Getting MEIS or GST issues. These also issues we are taking up with the relevant departments or relevant agencies. So basically, what activities APEDA doing in the meat? So basically, we are registering the meat plants by the committee. So you are aware, there will be a committee of 3 persons. One will be the APEDA person. One person will be from the meat expert, like university, from veterinary university. There will be one member, and one member will be from the state animal husbandry department. So a team of 3 members will visit the meat plant. We will inspect as per our guidelines. If there are some NCs, observations, we will note it down and we will give it to the meat plant. And after that, fulfilling all the NCs, we will approve it for the export. Secondly, we are maintaining traceability. For maintaining traceability, we have created meat.net. This is our one software which is monitoring the traceability, because the meat units, they are purchasing buffaloes from the various vendors. So the vendors having the specific code, that specific code is inserted in this meat.net, and from this code we can trace it out, and ante-mortem and post-mortem is done through this meat.net system. So there is a traceability which we have maintained. Then we are accompanying with the foreign delegation visit. So I think there may be some exporters in today's program. They are aware we are coming with the team, and the delegations, they are doing the inspections of units and they are approving it. Also taking SPS and TBT issues, they're the importing country. Then trade fairs I have already told. Then we are forwarding the application of meat plant for importing to importing countries for getting accreditation. For example, suppose there is some meat unit, they want to have approval from specific country, maybe Malaysia or Indonesia. So they have to send one application format to APEDA, and APEDA will directly send it to embassy, Indian embassy of that country, and through Indian embassy it will go to the concerned department. So this forwarding of applications that we are doing, and then we are coordinating for the visit for the accreditation of that specific units. So there may be a single unit or there may be a number of units. So that thing we are also doing for the meat people. Now let us see what is the scenario. So last year is 2020, 2021, there was a 10,85,619 metric ton. So it was having around 3171.19 US million dollars. So that much export we have done in the 2021. So major areas from where the export was done, it was Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra and Punjab. And major destination in 2020, 2021 was Hong Kong, Vietnam, Malaysia, Egypt and Indonesia. So these are our major markets. So if you look at the India's export, specifically buffalo, so in 18-19 it was around 12 lakhs, then it come down to 11, now it has come to 10, because you are aware that from last 2-3 years we are means whole world is fighting with this COVID situation, and due to this COVID situation, there were related some issues, I mean the breaking of supply chain, higher freight rate, such issues came, and accordingly this trade has been affected. Also, you can see sheep and goat meat also, that has been also, but in the sheep and goat meat, there are very few units are there, so their volume will be always lower than as compared to buffalo meat. Now, if you see the top destinations, so Vietnam, Hong Kong, Malaysia, Egypt, Indonesia, Iraq, Saudi, Philippines, United Emirates, and Oman. These are the basically our top 10 destinations where there is a regular export, and we are doing. So if you see like Vietnam, there was some issue and the export was decreased, and due to that, the whole volume around 2 lakhs that was there. So there was a shortage. Also in other countries there were some issues, and at our local level there are some issues which we are going to discuss in the next slide. Basically our top destinations. And if you see the number of registered meat plant in India, so there are 63 integrated abattoir cum meat processing plants. So these are the integrated, which means they are having slaughtering facility as well as processing. Apart from that, there are 7 abattoirs and 17 registered meat processing plants. So around, if you see 63 plus 70, 80, 87, 88, there are units from where export has been regularly doing. Now, there are around 100 merchant exporters. The unit owner, they are exporting. Apart from that, there are 100 merchant exporters which are regularly exporting to various destinations. So this is the situation of our registered meat plant. These are basically APEDA approved, and when there is an integrated plant, we are approving it for the 3 years. If it is a processing plant or it may slaughterhouse, we are doing it for the 2 years. So when any merchant exporter he want to export buffalo meat from India to specific country, he should have some agreement with that meat unit. So we are taking the agreement between the two parties. Apart from that, we are also taking 5 lakhs rupees guarantee, bank guarantee from that merchant exporter, and we are ensuring that merchant exporter should be also APEDA register member. So means after completion of this condition, we are allowing this merchant exporter to export the buffalo meat. So for registration of meat plant specifically, some documents are mandatory, because there are, when we are going for the inspection, we are observing there are some deficiencies. So to avoid the deficiency, just I will go through this list of the documentation which are required. First is the factory license. Your factory should be having the license. You should have the permission to run that factory. Secondly, HACCP and HACCP manual and SOP. So that is very critical part, because HACCP, that is a determining your quality. If you don't have HACCP, then you will not be aware which are the critical point and how to take care of it. So only getting HACCP certificate is not sufficient. You have to maintain the records for the all CCP points, and time to time you have to monitor it. Then you should have ISO 22 certificate, then FSSI. FSSI basically it is for domestic, but as per the FSSI rule, all the food business operator, they should have a FSSI certificate. Then is a valid pollution control certificate. That is very important, and you have to get from the Maharashtra means that state level Pollution Control Board. Then there should be a ETP that is required. Then you should have a water testing report showing BOD and COD level. Then your staff, you should have worker, supervisor, management officials, and all these staff, they should also have medical examination by any MBBS doctor. If suppose your any worker is suffering from any disease or maybe viral infection or other thing, so he should not be allowed to work. When he will be fit and after getting the certificate from doctor that he can join the duty, after that he should be allowed, because it will spread the diseases among the worker as well as, and it can affect the quality also, quality of the produce. Then pest control, that is a major thing. So pest control agency, sometime they are doing in-house or sometime they are hiring the agency. Whenever they are hiring the agencies, they should have the agreement. Then with the agency, then they should have the schedule, what schedule, weekly schedule or daily schedule, that should be there, and rodent map should be there. A lot of times we found that there is no schedule, but it's only they are taking like yes or no. So that should not be there, because if you see the rodent bags, they are weekly changing the beds. So that record should be there. If they are finding any rat or any insect, that should be also noted, so that they should have the control on this pest and the rodent control. Then all this chiller, cold storage, blast freezer, plate freezer, they should have hourly temperature record. So record should be there, and it has to be maintained. And they should have an in-house laboratory where various type of lab tests they should have, and there should be the recording of the test what they have carried out. Then halal certificate is required. Then calibration of the at least 5 equipment. So the weighing balances are there. There may be the sensors. So all these things they should have the calibration. Then there will be a temperature recorder that should be have the calibration certificate. Then training records. Training is very important part, and all the staffs, maybe butchers or other senior staff also, they should have the continuous training, so that they should get their knowledge updated, and time to time they should aware what is happening in the meat sector. Then it should have a rendering plant. If plant is owned or out, there should be the agreement approved with the meat unit. Then there should be the list of private and veterinary doctors appointed. This is a very important thing. When we are visiting to any plant, we are checking which are the state government officials are deputed there, and they are order given by the state government. Apart from that, they can hire the private veterinary doctor also. So the private veterinary doctor, his appointment certificate, then his degree certificate, and his registration with the veterinary councils, that we are verifying. Then now 17, very important that we have made mandatory, is CCTV installation. So in the unit, specifically at the slaughtering, at the packing, there should be a CCTV camera all over. There should be a recording of the activities, and that footage should be always kept with the unit, so that at any point of time, if there is an issue, that can be rectified. Then various guidelines are there. As per guidelines, they have to maintain the records and the training and other things. Now, basically, if you see, we are the major exporter, and our major importers are like Armenia, Brunei, Pakistan, Oman, Vietnam, also Indonesia, Saudi, Philippines, Jordan. So we are having a very good base for our product. Then we are having very good units, around I told 80 units. So we are having very good units which are producing the quality produce. Secondly, we are having very global demand. Third, we are having the laboratories, like Apeda approved laboratories are there, which are regularly testing the samples. Then Goregaon laboratory, which we have funded, and it is a state-of-art laboratory. We are making it for the meat and meat sampling also. Apart from that, there are like Bhopal, there is an animal disease lab. So we are having full strength. We are having good infrastructure, good units. We are having good demand, as well as we are having the control on these activities like labs and other things. So this is our strength for this buffalo meat export. Now there are some challenges which presently we are facing is due to this pandemic, international market demand has been slowed down. Secondly, when there was a lockdown in the country, there was a restriction for traveling from one state to other state that has been affected, and supply of animals to the slaughterhouse, because from other state basically it is coming to the unit, so that has been affected. And then as per the COVID norms, only 50% staff was allowed to work, so production was also decreased. So these were the issues which caused due to pandemic. Secondly, there is one issue, that permission of veterinary doctors. So for getting the permission from the state government, it is some time taking. Suppose one doctor is coming and joining after a few months or few years, is leaving the job and shifting to another, then again we have to fill that post. So it is time taking, because that private veterinary doctor, he should have an interview by the state agriculture, animal husbandry department, and after that he will get the orders. So this is time taking. We are trying to make it faster, so that there should not be hampering of the business. Then market access issue. A lot of time we are facing this issue with market access, because last time the Philippines, there was some issue regarding FMD news, and they are slowed down our export. So whenever there are issues that we are tackling, if there is a new market opening, then we are also taking care of it. Then sometimes there will be FMD outbreak or some FMD news which are coming through media, that can become a barrier for the export. Then one barrier is knowledge of worker staff, because what we have seen, the workers, they are continuously changing, and so staff is also continuously changing. So to avoid some issues, their capacity building is required. So maybe the butcher, maybe the supervisor, or maybe the plant manager or quality executive, they should have a regular training, so that they will get their knowledge updated. A lot of time we have observed that when delegations are coming and they're asking a few questions to the maybe the quality person or the veterinary doctor or maybe the manager, they are getting them somehow jumbled, and that is a very bad effect on our system. So whenever the delegations are coming, they will ask only questions related to your job. So workers, staff, and other people who are related to this whole processing line, they should have their updated knowledge, and management should have given them the regular training, so that there should not be any issue when any delegation or any thing is coming from the importing country. Then, since we are having challenges, but still we are trying to get more our export in other countries. So for market access and trade removal, like China, we are working now. In Russia, there are very one or two units which are exporting to US. So we are trying to convince Russia to have their delegation, so that we can approve more and more units. Like USA, Nigeria, Korea also, we are trying for the market access. Then rearing of buffaloes for meat purpose. Basically, if you see at present, the buffaloes which are coming through some aggregator who is directly going to farmer's house, and the farmer is giving it to aggregator, and aggregator is supplying to the meat units. So there is no there is a goat farm or maybe a poultry farm. Such concept is not still there, but we are trying to have this concept. And there was one discussion during that, male calf rearing also should be there. Then FMD, for FMD, state government is working very nicely, and regular vaccination is going on, so that we are having regular interaction with animal husbandry department. Then we are trying to have some incentives for these people, like interest subvention or MES scheme, or exemption of duty on the raw and salted buffalo. Then we are trying to include this sector in the APEDA financial assistance, because see, for other sector, APEDA is promoting, and since this sector is already established, but we are trying to accommodate them in some financial assistance, so that they should also get the benefit of them. Then there was a transport assistance scheme, which was now become Previously, it became a TMA scheme in DGFT, and now it become a road tax. So we are trying to get some benefit from that to this mid sector, and providing assistance to modern abattoirs to get it into integrated. Then market promotion, we are regularly participating in the trade fairs internationally, and we are every time we are having the scope that there should be a one or two people from the meet unit. Sometime their association that is called AMBLIA, they are also participating in the trade fair, and they are promoting Indian product abroad. Then we are trying to upgrade and establish more plants in various states, because if you see, I have told you initially, maybe Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Punjab, now Haryana is coming up. Apart from that, there are various states, there is no single unit. Like you can see Madhya Pradesh or Chhattisgarh or Odisha, or maybe Karnataka, there is only one processing unit. Kerala also, there is one or two units. So these are the states where there is a potential, and they can also get the this unit. So we are also trying to convince the state governments to have some, either they are having their municipal corporation unit that can be upgraded and make a modern integrated slaughterhouse, or they can give it to some exporter that he can develop for the export purpose. So these are the strategies basically we are making to promote export of buffalo meat from our country. So finally, what will be the roadmap if we want to export, increase our export of buffalo meat? So first is our training to the butcher, supervisor, and veterinary doctors for capacity building. So that I have already. So basically, these butcher peoples, for that purpose, university, veterinary university, they are taking various steps, and sometimes we are also there as a expert, and we are giving our thoughts to the supervisor, veterinary doctors, and butchers also. Apart from that, we are regularly promoting the international meat in the international level. If suppose from trade side, means from exporter side, we are getting some suggestion that is a specific market, and that can be a very big market in future, and there is a requirement of promotion of meat in that sector, that also we can do. So we are having a regular interaction with this AMLIA and other exporters, and as per their suggestion, we are taking these steps. Then increasing number of integrated, as earlier I discussed, there is a need. There are some states, they should take initiative, and they should start the meat units, so that there should be a huge production of meat and a huge export from the country. Then we are continuously resolving the trade related issues and promoting with the importing countries. So whenever we are having meetings, the trade are giving us details of the issues what they are facing, and accordingly we are taking up with the Embassy of India in that country, and also the related animal husbandry department or food safety department of that specific country. And as I told, like for Russia and other things, we are continuously working for the market access for the new market. So these are the things which we have to do as a roadmap, and this will give a increase in our meat sector. So that was from my side. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your very nice and exhaustive presentation on role of EBITDA in exports of buffalo meat, challenges and opportunities. I think you have very nicely covered all the topics, all the constraints, challenges, opportunities, a roadmap for the future development. So thank you very much, sir. So now I request the participants, if they have any query, so they can ask directly to the sir, or they can write their question in the chat box. So any question, please? So any participant? So I don't think there is any question. So
If they are having any question,
sir, please.
future also. Okay, so they can write to me, and my email ID I have already given to Jende sir. So they can directly write to us, and we will take care of it. And if you required, you can note our my this mobile number 95381 33387. So you can directly contact me, and if any issue, we will definitely sort it out.
Sir, one question is that one of the participant is asking whether APEDA is organizing any training program for lab persons.
Yes, see, basically NRC Grapes Pune, that is our referral lab. And we are having various training programs for the APEDA accredited labs. So if the accredited lab is there, there will be a regular training program. But you are talking about the in-house lab people who are working in the meat unit. So if there is a demand, definitely we will organize for you.
Thank you, sir. So anyone else? So I think no
Hello?
questions are there. So I will request Jende sir to please.
Okay. Thank you, Bagmare Sahib, for very nice, excellent presentation
Thank you.
and giving a detailed information about what the role of the APEDA is playing for promoting the export from our country. That is the buffalo meat mainly. And definitely these participants from the various slaughterhouses and the processing plant, they might have definitely benefited from your elaborative and the very informative talk. And I also once again thank you for you because yesterday only I have informed you, and without fail you said yes we will be there, and sir within very short time you have accepted our invitation to present today's topic on the what is the role of the APEDA in export of the buffalo meat from our country. So thank you so much, sir, and I hope you'll be also again you will help me in delivering the lectures in future also.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Jende sir. Thank you, Wagmare sir. So so thank you all the participants. Tomorrow is the last day for the training program. So I will request all the participants to join tomorrow at 10:50 a.m. Tomorrow we have two more lectures. So all the participants, they are requested to join tomorrow for training program. So I declare this today's program over. So tomorrow we will meet at 10:50 a.m. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.